Shalom, family. This is Yuda. I want to discuss indoctrination. Indoctrination. Let's take a look at the definition. The process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically, which means with a lack of criticism or consideration of whether something is right or wrong. Prisoners are subjected to brainwashing, indoctrination, and punishment. Teaching instruction methods that were approved for indoctrination of divinity. Indoctrination definition: the process of repeating an idea or belief to someone until they accept it without criticism. What are examples of indoctrination? While the lines for when indoctrination begin and end are unclear, obvious examples of religious indoctrination would include forcing adults against their will to do or attend churches, and to restrict them from embracing their own cultural religious tradition. This is what happened during slavery. What is a good example of indoctrinate in teaching? Hiding facts, disparaging student opinions, or rejecting any ideas that contradict the teacher's beliefs are examples of indoctrinations. Indoctrination is a means of forcing, brainwashing, or imposing desired ideologies without open discussion. Why am I bringing this up? We have someone who have been on this channel now for at least 3 or 4 months. I remember when she first subscribed to the channel. Now, I took her name off because I don't want y'all saying I'm jumping on this person, I'm beating them up. But I just want to show you an example of clear-cut indoctrination. We talked to this lady on the phone for several nights in a row, for long periods of time, answering question after question. Now, the problem I have with what she did is not so much what she did, but how she did it. During the time that we were talking to her, we made it clear this channel was Torah only. We do not do Christianity garbage. So she had little regard for the foundation on which this channel was built, and no respect for me. So let me read to you what she wrote. Greetings. I am posting this public because I want anyone to answer, please. Do y'all know what she's asking here? She's asking somebody, please agree with me. I am stuck in Christianity and I want somebody to join me. I know this is a Torah only channel, but I believe in the New Testament, and I just want somebody to please answer me and agree with me. That's what she's saying. She says, I have been thinking a lot lately about the New Testament, and it crossed my mind that many Tanakh only brothers and sisters say that the Most High never spoke in the New Testament because it never says, thus says Yah. I then remembered that in the New Testament, someone did speak that appeared to possibly be Yah. First of all, whoever that was speaking was not the Creator. All you have to do is look at the way they spoke, look at the context, and then go to the Torah and see if it matches up. The personalities are not going to be the same. Our Creator has a personality all of his own, and he shares it with nobody. So whoever that was spoke in the New Testament was not the Creator. Besides, it just takes a little bit of common sense. If this New Testament person that supposedly died on a stick called himself Jesus or God or the Son of God, whichever you want, he seems to not be able to make his mind up. He was dead. So you're telling me that you believe that while this supposedly God hanging on a cross is dead and he's still speaking. Well, I remember the Creator saying that he would go silent for 400 years. That's somewhere right along the line that the New Testament was written. So he wasn't talking to men. If you study, you would know this. He wasn't talking to men. He had stopped. So somebody is pretending to be God speaking. Another thing, he claims to be the Son of God, and he claimed to be God. Well, first of all, in the Torah, the Creator, when he spoke, made it clear who his son was. If you don't remember, in Exodus, he says to Pharaoh, release my people, Israel, even my firstborn. Now in John 3:16, it says clearly that Jesus was his only begotten son. You don't see the lie? You want to stick with this? His only begotten son. That's what John said in chapter 3, verse 16. But in the Torah, he never claimed Jesus, but he did claim Israel, even his firstborn. Now, common sense will tell you you cannot have two firstborns. Even if you had twins, one of them is going to come out first. So that would be the firstborn. You can't get them to come out at the same time. So he says that his only begotten son, so that whoever that was you thought was speaking in the New Testament clearly was not the Creator. He would not lie on himself. She says, it's said many times in the New Testament and the Old Testament that a voice, this is what she's basing her theory on, y'all, that a voice was heard from heaven. That's what the writers of the New Testament said. The Creator didn't say that. So does this mean we are wrong and y'all really did speak in the New Testament? No, you're wrong. You are just not listening. Don't try to put this on us. You could have at least had enough respect for me not to post this garbage on my channel. You could have just unsubscribed. People have been unsubscribing and subscribing all week long. Nobody has you locked in here. If you don't believe the Torah, then don't stay here. You can go. She says, so does this mean we are wrong and y'all really did speak in the New Testament and we're just not listening? No, ma'am. He never spoke there. He never spoke there. If you look at all the books of the Torah, that's all they talk about, Torah. The Creator said his Torah was eternal. That's forever. Why would he need to replace it? If it's perfect, didn't he say my laws and my Torah are perfect? How can you improve on perfection? Then she goes on to say, New Testament scriptures, and lo, a voice from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Matthew chapter 3, verse 17. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. What do you expect? These people are more clever than you could ever be. And it is said that even his very elect will be deceived. Do you know who the elect are? The elect is Israel. And yes, many of us are deceived. And behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. Matthew. These are all her examples, y'all. This is why she's stuck. This is why she can't move forward, because this poison is running through her veins. Then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. Well, in First Kings, the Creator says, I will not give my glory to another. This is a clear cut of what indoctrination looks like. I'm going to finish reading what she says. John chapter 12, verse 28. For he received from God the Father honor and glory. What did the Creator say? I will give my glory and honor to nobody. Glory is his power. When there came such a voice to him from the excellent glory, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. She referenced 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 17. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And she's got Revelation 14 and 2. She says, these are just some of the few I listed where it appears Yah might possibly be speaking in the New Testament. Also, there are 2 or 3 witnesses. Where? The rest of those people in the book that lied along with everybody else. In fact, Matthew and Luke couldn't even get their story straight. So these are the witnesses you want us to listen to? 2 or 3 witnesses in each book that tell, what books? That tell of the same story of a voice. Well, Eve heard a voice in the garden, didn't she? Was it the Creator speaking that told her to disobey the Creator? She heard a voice, just like you. You're hearing a voice right now telling you to come back to your lies. Come back. Don't go over there where you can be saved. Don't do that. Stay over here with me and go to hell right along with me. And she says, and they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of day. Yes, they did. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. What's that got to do with the New Testament? How does that prove he spoke there? And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. He sure did. But that was in the Torah. And the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Where did you find one spot in the New Testament where the Creator actually said he was speaking? All you know is somebody claimed that he spoke. In the Torah, he tells you when he speaks. And the prophets, they tell you, thus saith the Lord. They're telling you he has spoken. But all you got in the New Testament is somebody claiming. That's all through the New Testament. Somebody's claiming this. Somebody's claiming that. But ain't nobody got no evidence. And you claim there was 2 witnesses? That's a lie. You can't produce 2 witnesses out of the New Testament to save your life. And don't challenge me on that, because I don't want to make you look bad, but you need to be chastised. This is correction. This is not an attack on you. This is correction. And like I said before, nobody has forced you to stay here. I would love to see you stay, but don't post this garbage on my channel. We don't deal with this. You know that. We told you that. And then you come right over here and you post this crap, this garbage on my channel so other newcomers that's just coming out of this mess called Christianity, so they can see it. You're spreading disinformation. You can't prove none of it. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude. Only ye heard a voice. Deuteronomy 4:12. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle, and went out, and stood in the evening of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him, and said, What dost thou hear, Elijah? That's the Creator speaking. Go to the New Testament and see if he ever asked them anything. He didn't deal with them. He didn't deal with none of those so-called apostles. Jesus, JC, the fake Messiah, he was the one doing all the dealings. But this is the reason I get so tired. Listen, let me make something clear to y'all. I was called to teach the scriptures, and that's all I do. I don't try to make nobody believe nothing. So I'm asking you, out of respect, don't post this garbage on my channel. If you don't believe what this channel teaches, you can just go to another channel. Nobody's going to be upset with you. Everybody has the same free will and the same freedom of choice. Nobody will force nothing on you. And for you to post this on my channel shows a disregard for the truth and a disregard for what others might be dealing with coming out of Christianity. Do you think you are helping? If you don't want to leave that wicked, nasty line book, stay with it. But don't go around trying to recruit others to join you. That's your choice, yours alone. Let these people learn. Let them graduate from Christianity into truth. You can't find one Torah prophet that ever said anything about a New Testament. And you can't find one place where the Creator himself said anything about the New Testament. Some things don't need to be said. It just takes common sense. That's why he gave us a brain. He wants thinking people. He don't want people that can't make a decision. He wants people that can reason, that can think and make truthful and concrete decisions. You're straddling the fence. You don't know which way is up and which way is down. So you won't go and get all these scriptures from the Torah. That's where he spoke. That's where you should be. But you want to go here to the New Testament right here. That's where you want to go. That's where you want to stay. And you can stay there if you want. Nobody told you you had to do this. The only choice you have to make concerning your salvation is, do you want to go down with a lie or rise up with the truth? You have to make that choice. We can't make that choice for you. But don't put this on my channel, please. You know, I would have rather you send me an email. You got my email. I know you do because I gave it to you. If you had this question just simmering in your chest, you could have wrote me an email and we could have discussed this. But you put this thing on my channel. There are people here who are just coming out of Christianity and they're struggling with this. And for you to post this kind of garbage, do you realize how messed up you could cause them to be? Oh boy. She says, how do we know the voice in the New Testament isn't Yah speaking like in the Old? Well, he made it pretty clear. He only claimed the Torah. He didn't claim any other books. She says, I'm still learning, so please, I mean no disrespect by my question. Yes, you totally disrespected me. I'm going to make something clear. I'm not mad at you. But when I teach with a passion. A lot of people mistake that passion for anger. It's not. It's sad to see somebody stuck like you are. It's sad. And you asking somebody to help you. I've given you everything you needed. And so what good did it do? You still stuck there. You say, I'm still learning. Apparently you're not. You're not learning until you walk away from that book that's called the Wood and Stone. The wood is Christianity. The stone is Islam. You are stuck on Christianity, the wood. What was the cross made out of? Wood. What was the ship that took our people? Very first ship, the good ship Jesus, made entirely of wood. She says, I'm learning. Please, I mean no disrespect by my question. I genuinely want to learn and know the truth. Listen, sweetheart, I gave you the truth. I don't have any reason to lie to you. I don't get nothing but punishment for lying to his people. I can't afford to go down like that. So if you genuinely want to learn, first thing you need to do is apologize for disgracing this channel. Second thing you need to do is apologize to the people who are coming out of Christianity for giving them such a vision. You should never have done that. Normally I would just delete. But I remember you. I remember talking to you. I felt compassion for you. Me and my wife both spent hours on the phone with you. So I didn't delete your comment. I showed you more respect than you showed me. I didn't even put your name on here. So I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm trying to help you just like I did when you first called here. And we spent hours with you. For what? For you to do this? You said you want to know the truth, whether you like it or not. I gave you the truth. Who are you asking? You want somebody to join you in Christianity. Everybody here that eats, breathes the Torah is going to tell you the same thing I did. So what is that saying about you? What are you really asking for? That sounds like the evil spirit trying to pull these people back from what they already left behind. That's totally walking backwards. So let's go up here and look at a few things. You said that look at Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judge, meaning he blinded them thereof. If not, where? And who is he? Deuteronomy 28, 64 through 66. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Did that not happen to us? Are we not scattered among all the people of the earth? From the one end of the earth even unto the other. Is that not us? Isn't that the Creator telling us what happened to us, what's going to happen to us, what did happen to us? And there thou shalt serve, listen carefully, young lady, listen carefully, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. The wood is Christianity, the stone is Islam. So what exactly is he telling you? You said you want the truth. Listen up. And there thou shalt serve other gods. That means the gods that you are now serving, you didn't serve before. Your fathers. Because he says that your fathers didn't know this God. So where did you meet this God? When you arose on the shores of the land of your captivity. That's the first time since we boarded those ships that we ever heard Jesus. You didn't know anything about New Testament until you got here. Remember, The Creator says he was going silent for 400 years. Well, the book of lies called the New Testament was written somewhere around uh, after 70 AD. Do the math. Do the math. Your fathers did not know these gods. And the Creator says, thou shalt serve other gods. What gods do you think he's talking about? Him? He can't be talking about himself. So who is he talking about? Who is everybody praising over here in the New Testament? Other gods. Verse 65, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease. We cannot be comfortable in these nations. All of them hate us. We could be killed for any reason, just sneezing too loud. Our young men are shot down in the street over traffic tickets. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have any rest. Our people are up all night long in the clubs, on the street corners, hanging out, getting high. Their feet have no rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart. We are in fear every day because we watch how these people treat us. And we know that if we're not humble enough, that we could go out next. And failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt. Listen carefully. Thy life shall hang in doubt. Where are you right now? You are asking people on this channel to support your claim because you are in doubt. And thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. Your life is not guaranteed under these nations. Look at the people that came here on those ships. Look at how many of them was hung on a tree, burned alive, had limbs cut off, was just raped, pillaged, and it goes on. Babies were used for alligator bait. I mean, give me a break. And you want to serve the same God they serve? Is something wrong with you? Why would you want to serve a God your enemy introduced you to? This is your enemy. Why would you want to serve his God? There's only one God, and that is the God of Israel, not the God of the nations. So when you serve the New Testament, you serve in other nations. Look around from nation to nation. Germany, China, Japan, all of these are Christians. They all have a different name for their God, but they're all Christians. That's what you want to serve. We were special people. We had one God, and the nations hated us because of that, because our God was powerful. So they had to create their own God. So there was the birth of Jesus. From the enemy of Israel came Jesus. Man, I hate having to go through this. And again, I want you to understand something. We care about you. If we didn't, we wouldn't have spent those hours and days that we talked on the phone answering your questions. And you had a lot of questions. Apparently you still do. So let me put it to you like this. We have no ill feelings towards you. However, I am very irritated and frustrated that you will post this on my channel, knowing that this is Torah only, and the nerve of you to ask people to support your claim. Do you understand? That's mutiny. That was very disgusting. If you are stuck, and I know Christianity is like a hit of crack. Man, you take that first hit and you hooked. I know this because I was there once myself. And I fought when somebody brought the truth to me. I fought tooth and nails. But you know what? The whole time I was fighting, something in my spirit was telling me, you know they're right. But I didn't want to accept it. Kind of like you. So my advice to you, I don't think you're ready for this channel. I think you need to keep dealing with the New Testament until you realize just how dumb that book has made our people. It dumbed us down. It divided us. And that was the sharp point of Roman sword. Divide and conquer. They were good at that. And they still are. I believe it was Amos chapter 3, verse 7, when the Creator says that before he does anything new, he would tell his servants, the prophets, first. Find me one place where he told the prophets he's going to bring a new son and a new book. You find that for me, and I will humbly apologize to you. And I will support your claim. So all the people that hear this presentation, please understand, I'm not attacking this lady. I removed her name so that I could spare her from any kind of scrutiny or embarrassment. I took her name off. I call that respect. I respected her. She disrespected me. And all of you. I have showed every lie in that book more than a few times. And then you bring this to my channel. So let me tell you again, Miss, we built this channel. This foundation is built on Torah. If you still stuck in the New Testament, then go back to the New Testament. But do not bring that confusion here. I'm asking you, as politely as I know how, don't bring that here. You could have contacted me and not put this garbage on my channel. We could have discussed this just like we did with those other phone calls. We could have talked about this. But I'm not going to try to force nobody out of Christianity, or I'm not going to try to force nobody into the Torah. I bring the scriptures. I leave them with you. You do with them whatever you choose. Shalom.